1960 census does the job that in earlier censuses required the services of 2,000 card punch operators.
In 80 million mailboxes across the USA, the census is a-comin' to help us plan the way, to show us where we're going so that we can understand what's needed for the future of our land. Can we count on you?
You can count on me.
Can we count on you?
You can count on me.
Can we count on you?
You can count on me.
Answer the census, we're counting on you. Answer the census, we're counting on you.
Hello and welcome to LA Currents. I'm Anita Bennett. Today we're talking about Census 2020.
Are you a citizen of the United States of America? Oh, gee, I'm sorry, I just can't answer that question. There used to be a time when you could proudly declare, I am a citizen of the United States. Now they're trying to erase the very existence of a very important word and a very important thing, citizenship.
Talking to people in the community, there are still some concerns about responding. This has gone back and forth in the courts. What can you tell people to allay those fears about citizenship questions?
So as of right now, that is not on the table as part of this census. I think given the pattern of behavior of this president and its administration, I understand and recognize that I think it was with their intention to try and prohibit people from participating or inhibit people from participating.
And people should not be afraid.
No.
Look, don't worry. Your name and answers will be kept absolutely secret. That's the law.
Everyone needs to participate in census because this is a critical source of revenue for the state of California, for the city of Los Angeles. It touches everyone.
Every single time you get one more person to fill out a census form, that's worth $2,000. And that's all we're asking for, is to get our fair share back. Not money that's Washington's, money we produced with our labor and our hard work that we send to Washington and that we demand in a democracy comes back to us. That's why we are here.
So what does the census mean for the city of LA?
So in the city of Los Angeles, the census data plays a critical role for not just the way we distribute resources in the city of Los Angeles, namely, for example, LAPD cars is determined by our census counts. This is how we determine the level of officers get deployed and assigned to those areas. But more importantly, each member of our community in the city of Los Angeles, that when they're counted, they are worth an estimated $1,900 in federal funds that come to our city to help support our infrastructure, our roads, our those critical programs at the elementary schools and for public schools. So they're really important to make sure that we get an accurate count so that we get our fair share of federal resources. In addition to that, it also clearly plays an important role in determining how many representatives we have in Congress.
Population figures since 1790 have determined the number of delegates from each state in the House of Representatives.
And so these are some very important numbers because with the population that we have in Los Angeles, making sure that everyone counts is an important part of making sure that we get the resources that our city deserves.
So how do you get people to take part? How do you get the word out?
So the mayor's office, mayor has a census office that is working on a larger outreach strategy with a number of community organizations, the California Community Foundation. We are working very collaboratively also with our county partners because we understand how important it is for us to make sure that we have a good, accurate census count. We are one of the hardest to count areas, and so that has created a circumstance for us that we know puts us at a disadvantage of getting the full share of resources that we're deserving of.
The best place to get information about the entire population is the place where the people sleep, but there will be some places that will be hard to find.
Making sure that we are doing an effective outreach strategy is going to play a huge part in making sure that we get everyone counted. In particular because the effort that's being deployed in this census count is relying predominantly on an online portal for people to submit their data. And with the digital divide and so many families in lower socioeconomic conditions not having access to a lot of technology, it creates another hurdle for us to try and get an accurate census count.
So you say online. In the past, we were able to fill this long thing out by mail. Has that changed?
So what they're doing, the federal government is doing this time around, is that they are really they're pushing this online portal for everybody to go online and fill out their data. And there are going to be mailings of postcards to remind everybody that they should be participating in the census count. They will be receiving 3 notices to participate into the census count. It's on the 4th try that they will then mail a paper copy. But we don't want you to wait for that 4th time. We need everybody to go online, and so we are in the process of creating stations at local grammar schools, at clearly our libraries, where they'll be able to fill that information out. You can do it on your smartphone. It's going to be available everywhere.
You represent Council District 7. Can you just tell me some of the communities there?
Yes, so I proudly represent the 7th District, which represents the Northeast San Fernando Valley and the communities of Pacoima, Mission Hills, North Hills, Sunland, Tujunga, Sylmar, Shadow Hills, and Latuna Canyon. The majority of my area and the area that I represent has historically been undercounted, and so it's really important that we do our due diligence. There is far too much money and resources that these communities are deserving of that we can't afford not to be counted. Based on the populations of our areas, of our geographic areas, this is the data that is used. So when we want to talk about equity and making sure that everyone gets their fair share, I need everybody to pay very close attention to this process and participate.
Good information. There's a trickle-down effect.
There really is.
Wow. There was just a census report in the City Council, correct?
Correct. So we just went through all of the investments that we're making and the outreach strategies that we're deploying, because we want to get everyone primed for that spring kickoff.
Can you walk me through the calendar for the census?
March 12th is when that online portal will be available, and we have a finite window for people to participate on that online portal, and that's going to extend through July 31st. So it's a very abbreviated timeline, so we want to make sure it's one of those things that, it's kind of like doing your homework when you're in high school. The sooner you get it done, the sooner you go out and have fun. It's just an easier thing for you to just take care of the minute that it's available, so that we can get everyone counted in the city of Los Angeles. And for more information, we have a website, which is census.lacity.org. We are all very concerned in making sure that our communities are counted.
And once again, that is census.lacity.org. So what can we do to get involved?
So there is going to be a volunteer corps that helps to support outreach efforts. There are a number of local nonprofit organizations that have been selected to assist and lead some of those outreach efforts in those areas. So again, I would encourage going to the website and identifying what opportunity is going on in your local area so that you can participate. You're also encouraged to contact your local council office. They're happy to connect you. My office is heavily involved in this process because I want to make sure that everyone in my community gets counted, and so we're very involved, like most offices are, to make sure that that we can connect the volunteers to participate and support this effort.
And the census won't just be in English, correct?
Correct.
Hola, soy Efraín Herrera de los Seattle Seahawks y esta es mi familia.
The Asian Pacific American community especially is a large and growing and diverse one.
We need an accurate count of our communities.
Rosas ot sexo, which means, please, answer the census.
It counts for more than you think.
There are going to be 12 languages, and some of the most common, English, Spanish, Korean. It's going to be available in a wide variety of languages. So we, again, are trying to make it very accessible for everyone to participate.
And that does it for this edition of LA Currents. I'm Anita Bennett. Thank you for joining us.
You cannot know your country unless your country knows you.